Hi everyone, welcome to DIY Ideas. Today we're doing a Halloween themed DIY, so I'm going to show you what we're going to do today. It's going to be really fun, you can already see. So we're going to be doing some decorative pieces and keychains. So I'm first going to show you what we're going to need for today. So as always, we have some basic stuff, some fabric scissors, some pins as well. Then I have something to mark my fabric with, and here I have a regular pen as well. Thread in a matching color, this can be any color you want. And in order to make our keychains, we of course need the metal rings for that, so that's what we're going to use as well. You can also use a carabiner. And maybe you even have some at home that you can use. Then also here I have some bands that I'm going to use so that we can connect everything to the rings. Then we're going to need something to fill our little pieces with, so here I have some regular cotton wool, and then here I drew some different patterns that I want to cut out, so that's what I'm also going to use. And then of course in the background you see different colored felt pieces that we're going to be using today. So let's get started. So first you want to draw the shapes and sizes of the little pieces that you want. So this can be as big or as small as you want. And I just took a regular piece of paper and then just kind of drew what I thought was going to look cute. And then we can cut them out with our scissors and transfer them to our felt. Okay, so now that I cut it out and that I'm satisfied with the size, so I took my keychain ring here and I just kind of looked if the size fits. Of course, you can make a lot bigger size like I did here, so that's also an option. And then you can use it as a cushion if it's big enough, or just as a decorative piece for your fruit bowl or something like that. So let's now transfer this onto our felt. So you can use a pen or a pencil or anything else that you want depending on the type and color of your fabric. But then I'm going to use different colors here. Orange and green for the pumpkin, gray and black for the bat, and then white for the ghost. Then of course I'm going to use a little bit of red and black as well. So I'm going to start with the ghost. So here I have my 3 ghosts and I want them all in white. So that's what we're going to do first, and I'm going to do a little bit over the edge just so I have enough room for the stitch as well, and then I'm also going to do another version of that because we need the back as well. Okay, so now that we have all of this drawn out, we can start with the cutting out. So as I said, I'm going to go around these lines and I'm going to try to cut them out so that they're not visible later, so I don't have any traces left. But in case there are some leftover bits, you can wash them off easily. If you're using a regular pencil, you might be able to erase it with a regular eraser. So we're going to cut this out and then we're going to do the faces of our ghosts. Okay, so now that we have everything cut out, we can get to our next step, and that is aligning each piece the right way around. So you want them to align perfectly. There we go. So we should have 2 identical pieces. And then the color that is left over, what you can hopefully see on here a little bit on the bottom. So that's what we're going to wash off later, so don't worry about it if you have it too. Now what we want to focus on are the faces, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to do the mouth and the eyes. So I'm going to cut this out out of the black and a little bit of the red as well. And then we can put it together. Okay, so here are the faces. It took a little bit longer than I thought because I want them to look really, really good. So you just need to take care of that. The more patience you have, the better your result is going to be. So these pieces are really tiny and they really need to look good together, so it might take a little bit longer than what you expected. Okay, so now we can start working on the front side first, and then we're going to connect it to the back. So now I'm going to do tiny little stitches on here. Of course, you could use some super glue or something like that to fixate it on there, but I really want it to stay on there, so I'm going to use a couple of stitches. This step is also going to require some patience. So here are the ghosts, now that the faces are really going to stay on here. So I did a couple of stitches on here. You can't see them because they're too small, but I basically tried to incorporate everything so that every little bit of felt stays where it's supposed to. So now what we're going to do is deal with the background. So we're going to basically put everything on top of each other, align perfectly, and then just do a stitch all around. And if you want to use this as a keychain decoration, then you need your band right now that you're going to stick in whichever side you want, but put it on the inside and then just basically go over it with a regular stitch, just like if it weren't there. And then in the end, we're just going to put it on our keychain, and that's it. Of course, you can use different kinds of bands or rope or whatever you feel comfortable with. And I'm going to be using some black thread because I want a little bit of a contrast on here. Of course, you can do something else if you'd like. And if you'd like to stuff these, you can stuff them with pretty much whatever you want. But I think this kind of filler material is not too bad, so I'm going to do that. With two small pieces, you might not be able to do this, but you might also not need to do this. But with bigger pieces, you do kind of want to fill that. If they're too big, you might even want to cut out the exact shape of the piece depending on what the filler fabric is that you're using. Okay, so here you can see my done ghosts, and you can see different kinds of stitches that I tried out just so you can see what it looks like. You can also see the pumpkin and the bat in the background, and yeah, you can see here how I did the keychain section on the pumpkin itself. So I kind of made this green section that the pumpkin has, the stem, be the little loop for the keychain as well. And then here the bat, I basically did 3 different sections and I just stuck the wings on the inside as well as this little band on top and just went over them with my stitch. The sewing wasn't as easy as I thought, so this is a good practice if you need practice for basically every stitch that isn't straight. but I think it's a really cool way to get great results and also a little bit of practice as far as stitches go. So you see here this exact stitch that I did, I thought that would be really cute and I'm really satisfied with how it turned out. Of course, I could have done white as well, and then you wouldn't even see the stitch itself on here. I think the contrast looks nice, but there are multiple options that you can choose from. So basically when you're done, you can just put it onto your ring of your keychain and it's pretty much done and ready to use. So I hope you guys enjoyed the project. If you did, feel free to shoot us a thumbs up to let us know. You can also subscribe to our channel by clicking on the subscribe button. Let me know which one is your favorite. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. See you in our next video. Until then, have a wonderful day. Bye!